I'm not the type to make an I told you so video, but this was me late last summer. The chain gang could be replaced. I say replaced, but the chain gang actually eliminated. No, not this season, but they're testing some things out. It could happen as soon as next season.
Here's Brody Brazil.
So it has become official. Technology is about to replace human beings in terms of judging first downs or not in the National Football League. Hawkeye is replacing humans. The chain gang, which you're seeing here, they will still exist, at least for next season, but only in a backup capacity. I wonder if they'll actually ever need it. I mean, they've tested this technology so much, you would think they would never implement it unless they think it's 100% perfect. But whether for tradition or the sake of the fans at the stadium, I mean, it's a much better visual to see the chain gang, to see where the play is, to see where the ball was spotted, to understand if it's a first down. They're going to keep the chain gang for at least this next NFL season. But starting in 2025, Hawkeye by Sony, which we'll explain more about in just a second. Hawkeye is the name of the technology. It will be the default measurement for judging first downs in the National Football League. Basically, all of the measurements are now going to be virtual. They'll never bring the chains out there and stretch it out as far as they can and get down on their hands and knees. I mean, it's all going to be virtual unless there's a problem, unless they have to use the backup system, which is going to be the chain gang. The official is still going to spot the football. I want to be clear about that. They're not just going to put it wherever the player puts it down or wherever they give it to the official. The official is still going to spot the football for right now, but there's also some question about that in the future and challenges moving forward. I'll get to that momentarily, but the official is still going to spot the football, and then Hawkeye is going to do the measurement after the football has been spotted by the official. Now, one of the big reasons they say this will improve the game is because it'll speed things up. It'll reduce the decision time of first down or not. The NFL says by 55%. So from 75 seconds, when it takes the chain gang to come out there, the officials have to blow the whistle, stop the play. Chain gang comes out there, they get lined up, they spread the chain out, get the sticks up. That takes 75 seconds on and off the field. Now with Hawkeye, they say it's going to take 30 seconds or less. And I do have to say, based on what we've seen with Hawkeye technology in tennis and in soccer, and now with Major League Baseball and the ABS, automated balls and strikes system, it is pretty quick. Like they can bring that up in almost a split second and give you a definitive yes or no answer. Hawkeye technology has been around for a while. They've been working on this for like 20 years. But it really seems like it has emerged within the last couple years exponentially. It's part of the Sony family, right? Because they need this camera and vision and optic technology for all the computers to do their work. So you can understand and trust that it comes from a high-quality, long-standing company like Sony. It's already used by Major League Baseball. I forgot to throw in here the NBA. I think they recently signed an agreement too, but Premier League, overseas for soccer. Wimbledon's been using it. I think they were among the first to judge if tennis balls were in or out of play. And it's only going and growing. So don't be surprised if you see more Hawkeye across professional sports and even getting into the college ranks eventually. This would measure first downs, as I said, after the football is spotted, but you already understand it could also eventually lead to challenging the spot. If they have the technology to track the football and track a first down line, the first down yardage, basically to a half inch, I mean, they're going to have the ability to instantly, right after the whistle is blown, the play is called dead, they'll instantly have the ability to judge before the spot is even made whether it was a first down. So I don't know how they're going to handle that yet, or handle that eventually, or handle that ever. It seems like right now they still want the human element of the official getting the football from the player, spotting it where they thought the football completed the play, and then they'll measure it. But as I said, eventually this could lead to, well, where did the ball end at the play? And can Hawkeye judge it accurately? Or maybe they could challenge the spot based on where they thought the football ended at the end of the play. Again, the NFL has been testing with Hawkeye since 2021. They used it pretty aggressively last preseason. They also used it to no official capacity in the Super Bowl here in 2025. But the point is that they haven't fully unleashed it for regular season games. you'd have to think that now they're ready, and I'll get to that point in just a second. Measuring first downs always used to be a very analog thing, very low tech, right? Remember the index card drama of years ago? It was reliant on the spot. It still is reliant on the spot. Sometimes we can see an official putting a ball down like, whoa, that was not enough yardage, or whoa, that was a very generous spot. And also the analog measurement of links on a chain. Is that thing really stretched out as far as it could or should be? And none of this ever changed. It was always part of the human element of the game. Number one, the spot, and number two, the chain gang. How accurate was all of this? Now they're introducing technology which at least eliminates some of the human element. This is what the NFL said during last preseason of 2024 about testing it. We're in the installation phase for all of our stadiums, really getting them calibrated and up to date. This is from the NFL's Chief Information Officer and Senior Vice President, Gary Brantley. We're just getting to a place where this system is as accurate as possible and really calibrating across our multiple stadiums. That's another thing, right? You've got to get this installed across 32 different stadiums. You've got to get it precise and nails and 1,000% reliable. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. But does this improve the game? Now, this is Sony's take on it. This is Neil Manowitz's take. Neil is president and COO of Sony. Quote, we're reducing a significant amount of time, 40 seconds for each time of use, that basically is making the game that much more impactful. And then also the system is accurate down to less than half an inch, which is incredibly, incredibly accurate. Hopefully the fans appreciate the objective view, or at least half the fans each play will be appreciating it, essentially depending on which way a call was made. Half an inch, I'll tell you though, like that is impressive and that is super accurate, especially from these cameras, which can be probably hundreds of feet away, but they have that ability. And the technology is there, but I'm wondering, shouldn't it be like within millimeters if we're really trying to get this right? Because a chain, as analog as it is, could give you that millimeter type precision, that visual perception. I don't think anybody's going to think the computers are against them or the computers are being manipulated. I mean, humans could do it on the field too, but my point is, I'd love to see it so that the precision wasn't even used in half inches. I would love to see it even more on a smaller scale. I guess the worst case is this. If the cameras fail, or there's a snow game, or the weather and the visibility is so bad that they can't do this, they'll just revert to the way they always did it. Now that's interesting, right? That for the course of a season, you'll have most games being done one way, but then this is like the backup emergency way. The Orange Sticks and Chains and crew, they will remain for at least this season in a backup capacity, but it will be weird eventually someday because that's where this is going to not see them on the field. Here are my takeaways. So what is this all about? Speeding up the game? Just implementing technology because we can? Trying to get it perfect every time via technology because we think we can? Yeah, I guess all of that, but if we're just trying to speed the game up, is this really going to make a game shorter? How many times do they bring the chain gang out there? How many times do they really measure during a game? Just a small handful, right, on average. It's not every play. It's not as often as you might think. So if we're talking about saving 30 seconds every time, and let's just say 10 times total, I'm just guessing here, we're saving 5 minutes off a game. Is that worth it? Maybe. And I would also say that in the moment, though, it does make the result happen more quickly, right? Is that a first down? Are we going to find out? 3, 2, 1, here it is. We know it's a first down or not. Rather than, which I do kind of understand, like there is an anticipation. Chain gang runs out there, pull the measurement, everybody's on the edge of their seat. It takes longer and there is more buildup for the analog way. So in a weird way, maybe this is less of a theatrical thing to have the computer do it. It comes up quicker and it gives you a yes or no. And there is no buildup or anticipation. Do I think there's going to be more emphasis on the spot of the football? Yeah. Because again, after the spot, there's no more humans to blame. And nobody was ever blaming necessarily the chain gang, but there's always that, well, did they get it right? Did they walk out there and line up on the field exactly where they were on the sideline? And it was never a precise way of doing it, but that was what made it perfect, is that it was always kind of a guess. So now it's really going to matter. The spot is really going to matter. For trusting technology, the human official who puts the football down, it's on them where they spotted that football. I do like the fact that Hawkeye provides a good visual depiction, like they're going to graphically show you exactly how much this was a first down or wasn't a first down by. And I do love the fact that it's quick. It's instant gratification one way or the other. And I do have to tell you, this has got to be just the start for the NFL. If they're doing first downs now, wait until it's the plane of the end zone for touchdowns. Wait if it's until it's like 2 feet or 1 foot in the end zone for a catch, or I should say on the sideline for a catch. There's a number of different things I know they can track here using Hawkeye technology. I feel like first downs are like the entry. This is like breaking the ice of this technology into the National Football League. I guarantee you that within the next decade, there will be 2 or 3 more things that Hawkeye will also be responsible for, but they just want to make sure that this gets understood, accepted, and it goes the right way. Are you surprised by any of this? It's 2025. There's AI, there's technology. A lot of this stuff has been brewing for a long time. We've been talking about it for a while, and now it's officially here. But what do you think about this? Big deal? Not a big deal? Do you care? Do you not care? Do you just need to see it in person to understand? I'll take your comments down below. Also, thumbs up while you're down there. That'll greatly help me, this video, and this channel. And one more request, make sure you're subscribing to this channel, please, so I can definitely see you back here next time.